Hello and welcome to News Hour. I am Ibrahim Samura. Coming up in this edition of News Hour, President Julius Maada Bio makes an unannounced visit to the Princess Christian Maternity Hospital and the Special Court Complex. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow says government is in the process of declaring Sierra Leone a visa-free destination. And Foreign Affairs Minister swearing for 54 Peace Corps volunteers in Port Loko district. All these stories and more line up in this edition of News Hour. President Julius Maada Bio has made an unannounced visit to the Princess Christian Maternity Hospital, commonly known as Cottage. He was there to see whether nurses and doctors were on duty providing the necessary services for patients in the different wards. During the inspection of wards, the president noticed that one of the matrons was not on her seats. The president also visited the Special Court Complex at Brussels. Hawa Mosire went along.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Lucky woman. Go ahead. Sorry for the lights. Check out the bathroom. Thank you for being on time. Thank you.
Nurses on duty as he inspected different wards, including the neonatal unit, labor ward, blood bank, and the Olajuwon Hospital. President Bill spoke to various nurses, doctors, and patients to get first-hand information from them on facilities and treatments provided for the patients. One of the senior doctors, Almami Kuroma, at the Princess Christian Maternity Hospital, led the president on a conducted tour of the different facilities and also informed President Bill about challenges they are faced with at the hospital. Dr. Kuroma told SABC that he was really impressed by the move of the president as it will lead to some positive development outcomes.
Because this is what I was expecting, that most of the time they come on visit, they come and see exactly what is happening in the hospital. Because we have been doing our best. But this, as you know, this is an old hospital, okay, which now we have a lot of patients coming in, okay, but we have been trying that we need more space. But his coming in today makes me feel comfortable that at least he has seen it himself.
Medical Superintendent of the Olajuwon Hospital, Aishatu Mustafa, also led the president on a conducted tour of different units dealing with children under 5 years.
This unit can house up to 77 but it is congested, but there are no other facilities within 2,000 that can care for this area. It is the only area in the whole of Western area that can care for this baby. Yes, those that are sick. So we have those that have infections, those that have that they are going through obstruction and couldn't breathe well, or they are premature, like the one is premature. So we have
Speaking shortly after the inspection, President Julius Maada expressed dissatisfaction over the condition of the hospital, saying it was overcrowded and that the hygiene situation needed urgent attention. He, however, thanked the health workers he met on duty for turning for work on time. He left a strong message of warning for those medical staff that were absent. On the deplorable state of the health facilities, President Bill added that
well, definitely, I'm not pleased with what I say in terms of the condition of the hospital. I think we can do better.
What I'm not pleased with is that this place where we give birth to our children is not conducive. I have heard a lot about it, and that is why I have decided to come and see for myself, and definitely this facility. I have seen it, and it's now the business of the government to see where it can improve and help save the lives of our compatriots.
You don't see them. Then the business of government for plan and see how we're able to help save more lives.
At the Special Court for Sierra Leone, the president was received by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Priscilla Stewart, who explained to the president about the condition of the court. This, she stated that the Sierra Leone People's Party, under the leadership of the late President Ahmed Tijan Kaba and his Attorney General and Minister of Justice Solomon Berawa, embarked on a mission to secure peace in Sierra Leone. The detention facility was handed over to the government of Sierra Leone in 2010 after the trials of those who were indicted for crimes against humanity. She called on the president for the rehabilitation of the court before the commencement of the Commission of Inquiry.
The detention facilities was handed over to the government of Sierra Leone in early 2010. The rest of the premises, including the courthouse with all its facilities, were handed over to the APC government in superb working condition in December 2013. Then, a great national asset and pride. The courts had computers, streamers, chairs, and all modern facilities. It must be said it was a world class with more modern facilities of an international court at the time it was handed over. But sadly, sir, you again inherit today a dilapidated courthouse. It is a hurt and a stain on our country's pride.
The president was taken on a conducted tour by the Attorney General, Minister of Justice. SABC TV News Eye in Freetown, Hawa Mosire reporting.
Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julle Jallow has said in Freetown that government is in the process of declaring Sierra Leone a visa-free destination. He was speaking at a seminar on the theme, the role of Sierra Leone's diplomatic missions and embassies in promoting tourism and culture at the Radisson Blu Hotel, Aberdeen. Thomas Neal has more.
The concept is based primarily on the tourism industry, which has mainly been viewed as a vehicle for economic, social and cultural development. However, there is no doubt that embassies and high commissioners are key in promoting tourism. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julle Jallow says that apart from declaring Sierra Leone a visa-free country, government is in the process of establishing an investment board that will be chaired by the president to send a strong message to the world that Sierra Leone is ready for business. He said as well as improving the policy environment and investment image, government is also working on reviewing all taxes relating to air tickets, landing permit and also entertainment complex. Dr. Jallow called on them to map out key business as well as tourist potentials and also ensure that they serve the interests of the country.
When you arrive as new ambassadors and high commissioner, try to plug into the Africa Ambassador Group or the Foreign Ambassador Group. Talk to them. They will tell you each European country or each Western country has got specific things that they help African countries with.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Ali Kaba, said the team role of Sierra Leone diplomatic missions and embassies in promoting tourism and culture is part of the new direction policy to diversify the economy. He called on the diplomats to play a key role in that direction.
The topic here today is of utmost critical importance. It addresses a fundamental promise we made during the campaign that we are going to diversify our economy. That depending on the export of raw materials, especially the diamond, is not going to translate into higher standard of living.
The Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Dr. Memunatu Prat, stated that our ministry recognizes the contribution made by the missions abroad in actualizing the objectives of the tourism sector. Dr. Bemba Bayo, who is Sierra Leone's ambassador to Germany, noted that tourism is one of the bedrocks of economic development, adding that as diplomats, they should ensure that the country is known as a touristic destination. It is expected that the knowledge gained will help in promoting and marketing the countries which are still not exhausted its touristic potentials.
Meanwhile, the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julle Jallow, has said that government is committed to providing basic social services as indicated in the New Direction Manifesto. He was speaking during a one-day working visit to Magburka in the Tonkolili districts. Thomas Neal again.
Tonkolili district, though one of the biggest districts in the north, is also one of the least developed. The reason the Vice President decided to go on this tour. A visit like this enables the Vice President to know the challenges that the people in this part of the country are facing, especially in the areas of health, education and access to water, amongst others. The one-day visit saw the Vice President visiting key places such as the Mabruka Waterworks, the Mabruka Boys School, the Mafanta Correctional Center, Matura Grad School and the Mabruka Government Hospital. In each of these places, the Vice President and entourage were taken on a conducted tour, and the officials briefed him about challenges faced by the institutions. Addressing the people of Tonkolili at the District Council Hall in Mabruka, Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julle Jallow thanked the people of the district for the warm reception accorded to him and his entourage, adding that part of his mission in the district is to have a first-hand information about the situation in the district. He reminded them about the launching of the Free Education Initiative by the President, one of the key flagship programs of the New Direction, which will be implemented at the start of the academic year. Vice President Dr. Julia Jallow emphasized the government has invested so much for this initiative and will count on stakeholders within the educational sector for it to succeed. He said negotiations are far ahead for the restart of Magba's company in the district, as this will revive the agricultural sector in the district as well as providing jobs for unemployed youth. The Minister of Youth Affairs, Mohamed Bangura, called on the people of Tonkolili district to embrace the developmental aspirations of a new direction for the good of all. He said the days of politics are over and development and job creation for the youth must be their focus. The District Council Chairperson Yabom Sise said the council has enjoyed cordial relationship with the central government. She described the visit of the Vice President to the district as timely and historic, adding that the key flagship programs of the government are also key priorities of the council. For News Hour in Freetown, Thomas Neal reporting.
The United Council of Imams Sierra Leone informs the public of its deepest dismay over what could be best referred as unfortunate incidents that unfolded at the Gaddafi Mosque during the feast of Eid al-Adha. The Council unequivocally condemns in its entirety any speculation and or thought linking it with any political party or its operatives. Thus, they feel obligated to call on all to dismiss any unfounded and unwarranted message making rounds in the social media. According to a release issued by the Council, they are saddened by the saga and therefore apologize to the entire Muslims and the general public and assure them that the appropriate measures are speedily being instituted to forestall its repeat in future. The release also states that all imams and Muslims are advised to desist from using our masjids and Islamic festivals as a forum for politicians. You are watching News Hour, coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has said that government's policy on education coincides with one of the Peace Corps sectors of operation. Dr. Ali Kaba said the Peace Corps volunteers will help enhance the President's initiative on free basic education. The Foreign Affairs Minister was speaking during the swearing-in ceremony of 54 Peace Corps volunteers in Port Loko District. Hawa Bangura reports.
People of Sierra Leone. I promise to share my culture with an open heart and open mind.
The 54 Peace Corps have completed an intensive 10-week induction to prepare them to serve as teachers and health workers across the country. The foreign minister stated that their roles as teachers and health volunteers will impact the lives of Sierra Leoneans and building the capacities. Dr. Kaba said the services of the Peace Corps volunteers in communities and schools will play a critical role in promoting quality education, which is in line with the New Direction agenda.
President's New Direction flagship on education, which is one of the Peace Corps sector of operations in the area of education. As the President seeks to deliver his campaign promise on education, Peace Corps volunteers serve as a platform and a conduit to help enhance the President's initiative on free basic education in the country.
Giving an overview on the establishment of the Peace Corps program in 1962, Dr. Kaba noted that it was as a result of the long-standing relations between the USA and Sierra Leone before and after independence. Since then, he went on, more than 4,300 volunteers have shown their love and friendship to Sierra Leone. He lauded the efforts of the United States of America for their immense contributions at bilateral and multilateral levels to the socio-economic advancement of the country. The Deputy Chief of Mission and Charge d'Affaires of the U.S. Embassy in Sierra Leone, Tomeka Ball, thanks the host families for accommodating the Peace Corps in Sierra Leone. He said besides the increasing number of volunteers, the Peace Corps program is also hiring and training additional Sierra Leoneans. A representative of the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Safa Kane, assured the Peace Corps of a pleasant atmosphere. In another engagement, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Ali Kaba, bade farewell to recipients of the Chinese government scholarship. Dr. Ali Kaba stated that the president's key priority was to ensure quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all Sierra Leoneans, in line with Goal 4 of the UN SDGs. The foreign minister said they are going as ambassadors of the country to acquire knowledge for the benefit of the people of Sierra Leone. He advised them to put on their best during their academic pursuits and express gratitude to the government of China. The ambassador of China to Sierra Leone, Wu Peng, underpinned their full support to the new directions policy on education. He stated that China is helping Sierra Leone build schools and considering donating portable classrooms to help students and teachers in remote areas. He said the key to sound relations between states lies in the affinity between their peoples.
The National Social Security and Insurance Trust, NASIT, has distributed toolkits to 55 inspectors of the trust. Director General Mohammed Fuad Dabo says the importance of the drive is to reposition his institution towards increased productivity and quality service delivery. Rose Konima Stevens reports.
Regulations 2004, the Code of Conduct for Inspectors, the Operational Manual, were among items presented to the inspectors to enable them perform effectively and efficiently. Director of Operations, NASIT, Amadou Denke says the inspectors are key players at the trust as they interface with the general public, especially in the registration of employers and employees, as they are responsible for inspection of employment and financial records of employing institutions. He spoke on the essence of the toolkits.
You just distributed toolkits to inspectors. The inspectors are the officers that have the responsibility to enforce compliance with the trust provisions, meaning that you go out to the field to identify establishment, register them and the workers in those establishments. They ensure that establishments or employers pay contributions on behalf of their employees, and they're also responsible for the maintenance of the membership data. So these toolkits are just the necessary tools that they require to effectively perform that duty when they go out to the field.
Director General NASIT Mohammed Fuad Dabo informed the gathering that as service providers, their customers are the only reason for their existence and that they will do all in their power to provide the conducive working experience. He furthered that as a center of excellence, NASIT strongly believes in its core values of transparency and accountability.
Our primary purpose here is to administer pensions, and in doing so, we have activities that we undertake. We are obligated to register establishments, collect contributions from the employees, and also pay the benefits when they are due. I think in summary, a concise summary, that is the essence why NASIT was created. I will ensure that I pay attention to the operations of the scheme and to the scheme proper, which is my mandate by the Act.
Inspector Government Operations at NASIT, Momodu I. Kamara, and Inspector Susan Marina Sise were among beneficiaries of the toolkits. They explained to this medium how timely the working tools are to them.
I feel very elated this morning because it's the very first time I have seen management take my work with this level of seriousness. This occasion this morning has demonstrated to all of us inspectors that the leadership of this institution value our work, and not only do they want to make demands of us, but they're also willing to capacitize us to deliver on those responsibilities of ours. And that is going to be my takeaway today.
Today I feel very pleased about what happened earlier on, given these bags that our tools are in, because the tools inside our bags capacitate us to do our work. Recently, we've been having issues performing our duties because we go to the field without the necessary tools that we did not have. And so management deemed it fit to provide us with our tools means they've taken us seriously, they've listened to our cries and have considered us to be important in this trust, and because of that we feel pleased, and we want to assure the people of this country that we are going to make progress.
SLBC News, Rose Konima Stevens.
The African Muslim Agency, through the Member of Parliament for Constituency 009, Honorable Musa Lahai, has provided wheelchairs, used clothing and Qurans to the people of Peja West and Yawe chiefdoms in the Kailaun districts. Aruna Patki Kamara has the details.
Over 200 translated Quranic books were among the items provided to the people of Constituency 009 in Kailaun districts. The gift was provided by the African Muslim Agency through the Member of Parliament, Honorable Musa Lahai. According to the Secretary General of the African Muslim Agency, Abubakar Jabi, since the agency was founded in 1985 in Sierra Leone, they have been building schools, health centers, mosques, water wells, and also providing support to the less privileged across the country. Mr. Jabi said that the agency does not take into consideration tribal, political, and religious affiliations when providing support.
We are taking more in the site of wells, hand-dug wells, boreholes, even these big boreholes with tanks, then even hand-dug wells. Well, we normally work upon the policy of the government. We ask the government, different ministries, to advise us where to go with this assistance.
The Member of Parliament for Constituency 099, Honorable Musa Lahai, commended the agency for supporting his constituents, as lack of basic amenities has been a challenge for a very long time. Honorable Lahai called on his people to be patient, as development is not an event but a process to which he is committed to. He said the reconstruction of the Bundubu Teachers College will commence by next year, as the government of the People's Republic of China has opted to support the projects.
That report was filed in by Aruna Patrick Kamara. The Minister of Agriculture and Forestry, Joseph Danema, has said that under the new direction, local farmers will be supported to enhance agri-development in the country. Mr. Nenama made the statement during a visit to the Sierra Aka Food Processing Company at Kosotown and the poultry farm at Sumbuya. Sheku Smaila reports.
Food Processing Company is the first in the Mano River Union with a modern food processing plant that can process 50 cows and small ruminants per day and hundreds of chickens per hour. The poultry farm at Sumuya has over 70,000 layers and over 50,000 broilers. The Minister of Agriculture and Forestry, Joseph Danema, was taken on a conducted tour of the food processing plant, where he was shown facilities and different stages of processing. Before visiting the poultry farm at Sumuya, Mr. Danema said he was impressed with what he saw and promised that the government of President Bio will support local farmers by transforming them into millionaires in dollars. He commended the Chief Executive Officer of Sierra Aka, Pakai Kamara, for such an admirable investment he has done in this country.
It's a very impressive entity here, and the entity needs a lot of support, and I think government should be prepared to support such an enterprise.
Executive Officer Sarah Aka Pakai Kamara said he was impressed by the visit of the Agriculture Minister as it showed how committed is government in improving the agriculture sector. Mr. Kamara said that expansion is what he is focusing on right now. Mr. Kamara encouraged farmers to grow more maize as they have a market, adding that Sarah Aka has a milling plant that processes hundreds of tons of animal feeds. Adi.
We are doing both broilers and layers. Commercial layer production at the moment, we are doing more than 30,000 eggs per day. And for broilers, we can do more than 70,000. That means we do process a month more than 30,000 broilers. That's the current capacity. Consultant processing plant for the broilers is 1,000 chicks per hour. For cattle and small ruminants, we can do 50 eggs per day. That's the capacity.
Okay, for cattle. Reporting for SLBC News, I am Sheku Smaila.
Media Watch Sierra Leone has called on authorities of Frabe College to make mass communications building disabled friendly. The call was made after the diagnostic exam the department conducted for intending students. Bobby Klamin sent in these reports.
These were the 7 intending mass communication students with disability who benefited from Media Watch's support. Executive Director, Media Watch Sierra Leone, Francis Ndanema, called on the Frabe College administration and other well-wishers to construct a ramp that will help wheelchair users access the lecture rooms.
Challenge here is, especially for those who are polio victims, is how they can access the mass communications departments. As you are here as colleagues, you are all seeing that these are, there is a step here and you have stairs inside. However, like today, we are calling on the Frabe College administration so that they can really construct ramp here, and also other well-wishers.
Francis Nima referenced Section 14, subsection 2 of the Persons with Disability Act, that states that every educational institution should be made accessible to persons with disability. Some of the intending mass communication students with disability said they were grateful for such support and called on Media Watch to advocate for them to get easy access to the department so that their vision of becoming journalists will be actualized.
Well, I'm very impressed, and I want to say a very big thanks to Media Watch for this great venture, and we appreciate them a lot. You can see most of the buildings in the compound are not accessible, are not disabled friendly. So it's not going to be easy for me. As you can see, the mass communication department is a very challenging building for persons with disability. And we are calling on the administration to please help us, with a ramp so that we can access the building and which we can do what others can do.
For me, my own department was in stairs, but with the help of Media Watch, I was able to access my own department to take my exam.
The Deputy Executive Director of Media Watch Sierra Leone, Kalilu Sila, said he supported the student from funds largely raised from the Ministry of Defense. He said the fundraising process is slow and called on well-wishers to support their fundraising campaign.
World Vision Sierra Leone, in partnership with the Catholic Education Office and the Ministry of Basic and Senior Education, has officially opened its 5-day training workshop on early childhood education. The event took place at the St. Edward's Preschool and Resource Center, Kington. Esther Marie Samara has more.
Non-governmental organization that was launched in Sierra Leone in March 1996 during the Civil War has embarked on training preschool teachers in the country. Preschool, also known as nursery school, is an educational establishment offering early childhood education to children before they begin compulsory education at primary school. The training workshop for teachers from Kono and Bond districts will end on Friday. Some of them speak more on their expectation at the end of the workshop.
I'm expecting to get
knowledge and understanding so that I will impact my children when I go.
I'm expecting that I have basic training on part of the early childhood education as to how I will train those children to see that they become better people, because they count a lot as they are the foundation start in education. You train them better, I know that you see you have a better nation.
After this training, I am expecting you to impact something in me so that I can share it with the children.
The Education Advisory Officer at World Vision, Alfred Moses Kamara, said training of teachers has been part of their programs. He maintained that only 11% of the pre-primary school teachers are qualified and trained, while the rest are referred to as unqualified and are not in vouchers.
This is a very important enterprise. And for you young people that I see in this group, take it, make it an enterprise. The world will be looking for you. Sierra Leone will be looking for qualified people to handle children. They are absent, only 11%. I'm sure the number has been reduced. Please remember that your course that you have chosen is very important.
Lead facilitator Dr. Margaret Dabo said before now the educational system was well structured and emphasized that the weakest teachers are now found in the preschool levels.
Government has thought it wise, and with the support from World Bank, World Vision, other international communities, they have come to our aid so that we can have a solid foundation in our education system, and that is at the preschool level.
Dr. Margaret Dabo said the participants should utilize the opportunity well and in turn impact the lives of their pupils. Esther Maisamua reporting for SLBC TV.
Action Aid Sierra Leone has offered over 400 million food and non-food items to the survivors of the August 14, 2017 disaster at Kaningo and Kameama communities. They also held 2-day psychosocial training for women and girls in those two communities. 214 people were targeted. Sheila Reful files in this report.
Emergencies focal person for ActionAid International Sierra Leone, Zainab Binta Senesi. ActionAid Sierra Leone operates in 7 districts across Sierra Leone. She said prior to the offering of the support to the survivors, ActionAid Sierra Leone carried out an assessment during a meeting with the community people where they expressed their felt needs. She said the funds were provided by international partners.
We're supporting communities with food packs, which is a composition of rice, maggi, sardine, oil, and salt. We're also supporting them with what we refer to as dignity kits, and within those dignity kits we have sanitary towels, Vaselines, panties, towels, lapa, deodorant. That is basically targeting women and girls.
Omar Kamara, a beneficiary of the support, expressed appreciation to ActionAid International, which they describe as very timely as life is very difficult for them to survive. He called on governments to help them with housing facility, as some of them are still under rentage, which is very much expensive.
According to the season, I relieved to it.
We appreciate ActionAid, though this is not the first time they are coming to our aid since the incident occurred. Yet we are calling on the government to help us with comfortable housing.
Another beneficiary, Alice Young, also lauded ActionAid Sierra Leone for the support, though not all of them were able to get the items.
It's now time for sports, and let us join Esther Marie Samora for the latest updates in sports.
It's a hearty welcome to Sports Updates on News Hour. I am Esther Maisama. In this edition, the Central Football Association finals between Fube Community and Shell Jewelers ended abruptly with no winner. This came following a controversial penalty scored by Hassan Fofana of Shell Jewelers in the post-penalty shootout that was ruled out by referee Swaibu Bangura. The competition has many sponsors, with Ceylon Brewery Limited, one of the major sponsors. Here is the report. The inter-area competition started with 48 communities and it attracted many dignitaries in the country. The inspection of teams was done by the newly appointed Director of Sport, Dr. Kenneth, representatives from the Ceylon Brewery Limited, and one of the highest goal scorer, James Conte, whose leg was amputated after involving in a road accident at Wilkins Road. The kickoff was taken by the Minister of Sport, Ibrahim Yelenke. The match ended in a goalless draw. According to Law 14 of FIFA rules, if a game is drawn, penalties are bound to be taken from both teams. The team which scores more penalties is the winner. That was the case in the Kofa final between Shell Jewelers and Fube Community football teams. The second player of Shell Jewelers to take the penalty kick, Hassan Fofana, was shown a yellow card. The center referee Swaibu Bangura ruled out Fofana's penalty. According to him, Fofana faked goalkeeper Mohamed Kamara and it's against FIFA rule. After the player was shown a yellow card and his penalty disallowed, the match ended into chaos. Head coach of Shell Jewelers, Ibrahim Bangura, in his post-match interview, alleged that referee Bangura was in favor of Fube Community football team.
Everybody sees that the referee made a big mistake. He made a big blunder towards the match. That was a clean penalty scored by my player for the Cedar. But everybody knows there is an executive that is taking care of the team. So I guess the executive has already told the guys what to do and not what to do.
Coach of Fube Community Ishmael White said they won the competition as per regulations, but noted with optimism that he would be ready for the play if his bosses authorize him. And in the international scene tonight, Manchester United calamity looms Manchester United as they went down to Tottenham Hotspur by 3-0. We now bring you highlights of the match.
Old Trafford went one way really. It was Pochettino towards Mourinho. David De Gea to put right at Tottenham. What was a terrible back pass by Rose. Lukaku from the angle. Oh, he's put it wide. Early season rust from Danny Rose. Here's Dele Alli. Oh, Smalling goes to ground early and gets the ball. That was Bobby Moore-esque. A sliding hook tackle just to dispossess. No work by United. They're moving the ball far swifter than they did on the south coast, and the header comes in from flipped down the line by Trippier towards Ericsson. There's the cut back. Here's the chance. Dele Alli was nodded into the back of the net by Harry Kane. The Old Trafford drought is over for Harry Kane and for Tottenham Hotspur. Wide open, and he plants his header into the back of the net. De Gea was rooted. This will not improve Jose Mourinho's. Christian Eriksen has Kane now darting towards the near post. Other runners are there. It's 2 now. Lucas Moura, 2 goals in 2 minutes for Tottenham Hotspur.
He's goalkeeper because what a careless mistake this is. Just no care and attention.
Here's Lucas against Smalling. Trusts his pace, and he's in. Lucas, 3-0! Game, set, match to Tottenham Hotspur.
An Herculean task now for the head coach of Manchester United, Jose Mourinho, and a nightmare moment for all Manchester United supporters right across the continent.
But Esther, before leaving us from NewsHour, well, we want to know now, because this is a shocking defeat and also a humiliating one for Manchester guys.
Well, I would say it's not a shocking defeat, because when you take a look at Tottenham Hotspur, they are also a top-class club when you look at the nitty-gritty surrounding the English Premier League. So I might say all United need to do now is to see how best they could up their game. Before the closure of the window transfer, we saw Mourinho was very much concerned about getting in new players to the squad, and this is just the commencement of the EPL, and they've started seeing so many challenges faced by the team. And if you watch the match, I think they did tremendously well, but applying Lothian was a huge problem for Manchester United.
Now, coming down to local, we saw the final at the Kofa Parade Field ended in a stalemate. Then what time now are we going to see the replay of the final?
It was indeed an unfortunate situation at the Parade Grounds, because the match ended in a goalless draw in the 90th minute, and because it was a final, so it was due to take a penalty. So Frabe started it, and they were taking the lead by 2-1, and we saw the second kick for the Shell Jewelers by Hassan, but unfortunately, after he scored, that goal was ruled out by referee Swaibu Bangura. But from the release that we saw from the Centre One Football Association, they've apologized for that ugly incident that occurred, and according to them, based on the referee's decision, they'll come out with their decision.
Well, thank you very much, Esther. Latest update in sports, and it is now time for entertainment. A dancer, painter, model, and actress, Mariatu Kagbo, based in China, recently expressed her love for the Chinese people. Mariatu is presently excelling in China and has a positive plan to help her motherland. For more on this, let us join our entertainment producer Mohammed Kimilan Bangura as he compiled these reports.
玛利亚，你被戏曲节目的什么东西所吸引啊？
我第一个是他们的化妆特别漂亮。
Mariatu Kagbo is a dancer, painter, model, and actress based in China. Recently, she expressed her love for the Chinese people, saying that China creates an environment for talent to survive. Malia, as she is popularly known by her fans in China, went to China in 2004 at the age of 16 to participate in the Miss Kite beauty pageant held in Shandong, an event that is held annually. Mariatu won the heart of the Chinese people when she sang a song in the contest describing the beauty of the city of Shandong. In 2009, she represented Sierra Leone in a Miss World competition. She was among the top 10 and she won the best creative contestant, as she was the first black woman to combine cultures from both Sierra Leone and China, which really impressed the judges. In 2007, Mariatu participated in China's Got Talent, and out of 19,000 participants, she was awarded the 4th position. This brought more recognition for her within the Chinese community. How was it like for a foreigner and an African to excel in shorter contests?
I was proud, because to be the first African lady to won those positions at China Get Talent, since that time till now, is a blessing, and really is a hard working and the focus, humble and obedience is very important in life. Thank God for that.
Maria was a member of a dance troupe in Sierra Leone during her school days. She was an athlete and also later joined the Sierra Leone Scouts Association. Maria was a member of a popular Sierra Leonean music group based in China called RF Chord, headed by Sierra Leonean dancer and rapper Kande Osayo Kamara KOK, and they released various hit songs, including the song Yawo. In 2008, Maria performed alongside the Chinese Hollywood superstar Jackie Chan at the Olympic Stadium in China, a moment she said will always be in her mind.
In China, I was dreaming to meet with that great man Jackie Chan. Yeah. But luckily, I was having a blessed phone call from Jackie Chan manager for me to perform with him on 2008 at the Olympic Stadium in China. Very nice guy, you know, very humble and very friendly, funny. Yeah, I like him so much. He's like a elder brother. Yes, and he always called me like small spicy pepper girl.
Maria said she loved China, but the love for her country is there in her heart. And that's why she has contributed financially as well as morally, especially for the school that she attended, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Secondary School, and also promised to do more in helping her motherland. Early next month, the China and Africa Summit will be held, and our President, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, and the First Lady will be in China. So what is she planning to do in receiving our President and the First Lady?
Yeah, for me, my president is always my president, no matter it's green, blue, or red. Everybody have their own political party they live, but for my leader, I have to respect my leader and my First Lady. And as a Sierra Leonean, I'm going to make them proud, and they're going to know that they have a proud Sierra Leonean. And I'm going to do my own best to make sure they have a very great stay in China on my own way, and make sure they are proud to be a Sierra Leonean in China. Have the best by the power of God. It's not my power. We're going to make sure they're proud of Sierra Leone and they're proud of their people here. Yeah. And we are waiting for them. May the Lord bring them back safe and go with them back safe to Sierra Leone.
Maria has released various musical albums and also acted in various Chinese movies, and presently she is hosting a television show in China. She advised musicians in Sierra Leone to sing songs that she described as positive songs that will bring positive transformation to the country.
First of all, I want to say thanks to them for their wonderful jobs they're doing, singing for the country and everything.
That entertainment report was compiled by Mohammed Kimilan Bangura. To end the news, the main points again. President Julius Maada Bio has paid an unannounced visit to the Princess Crystal Maternity Hospital and the Special Court Complex. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julius Jallo has said that government is in the process of declaring Sierra Leone a visa-free destination. And Foreign Affairs Minister has sworn in 54 Peace Corps volunteers in both local districts. That's all in this edition of News Hour. Thanks for your company. My name is Ibrahim Samura.